In the vast African savanna where the sun scorches the land and silence often conceals danger, daily life unfolds as a relentless struggle for survival. Every moment is fragile, balanced on an unseen edge, and each encounter can turn into a final test. Hunts are swift, intense, and unforgiving. There is no room for hesitation and no place for mercy. Within this harsh landscape, the lion stands as a commanding presence, an emblem of strength, authority, and the delicate balance of nature. Its roar carries across the dry grasslands, a powerful reminder that these territories are claimed and defended. Yet even the oldest dominions are not immune to change. Lands are lost, prides are fractured, and the forces that shape the wild continue to shift with time. And so a question begins to take shape: can the return of a rightful ruler restore harmony to these untamed plains? Or has the savanna already begun to forge a different path? A new chapter unfolds in the heart of Africa, where instinct, survival, and fate will determine who rises to power and who fades into the wilderness. Across the sweeping plains of Africa, where the wind carries dust and echoes of countless generations of predators, balance is not maintained by constant presence, but by rare and unmistakable signals. A distant roar is more than sound, it is a message that travels across the savanna. For a pride long without its leader, that moment means far more than a reunion. It signals the return of strength, a quiet hope for cubs who have never known their father, and a fragile promise of stability in a demanding world. The call rises from afar, moving through waves of grass and across open land. A lioness pauses listening, then turns and walks steadily toward the familiar sound. For her, it is not just a call, it is the long-awaited sign of return. The cubs continue their play, unaware that their lives are about to shift. Only when they notice their mother moving away do they rush after her. To them, it is simply another afternoon on the plains, not yet understanding that this journey marks the beginning of something far greater. Far ahead, the male lion is still several kilometers away. His return is not dramatic yet. It quietly reshapes the structure of the pride. As the distance closes, movement slows. There is no celebration, only a cautious stillness as the future of the group begins to rebuild itself in silence. With his presence, a new order settles in. The pride moves more closely together. Vigilance adjusts, and the surrounding space feels subtly more secure. But calm does not last. Unfamiliar scents drift across the grasslands, and the presence of a full pride quickly draws attention. In the savannah, every moment of stability brings new challenges. From the edge of the territory, another roar answers, deep, distant, unmistakable. A rival has taken notice. Each call is a challenge, each step forward a test of strength, control, and survival. The plains fall quiet. Two male lions appear at opposite ends, holding their distance as they observe one another. They do not rush. They move in parallel, heads raised, manes stirred by the warm wind. Their gaze remains fixed, reading every motion, searching for weakness. Then in an instant, the gap closes. Massive bodies collide amid the grass, sending dust into the air. Low roars blend with heavy breaths. This is not a hunt, it is a decisive contest where every movement can shape the fate of the pride. Their clashes come in brief bursts, grappling, separating, circling again. Both understand that a single mistake could cost everything. The turning point arrives in a moment of hesitation, one step back, and the outcome is sealed. As the grass settles, a new hierarchy takes hold. The roar that follows is no longer a challenge, but a declaration. For the waiting pride, it marks a fragile stability. In this land, power is never permanent, but for now it belongs to the one who remains. The wind sweeps across the savannah, lifting dust from the recent struggle as if nature itself is erasing the signs of conflict. Above, silhouettes circle slowly in the sky, not as a signal of an ending, but as part of an ongoing transition. In the savannah, every shift extends far beyond a single encounter. Along the edges of the territory, herds of antelope grow more alert, drawing closer together, ears tuned to every sound. For them, a new dominant presence means the rules of survival are changing. At a distance, hyenas watch in silence, waiting patiently for any weakness in the newly established order. In the lower plains, buffalo continue their steady movement, largely indifferent to the conflict. Yet their strength commands respect, forcing predators to choose carefully. The savannah does not belong to one species. It endures through a delicate balance between hunter and prey, strength and number, timing and instinct. Amid these shifting patterns, the pride rests in the shade. There is no celebration, only the continuation of order, an unspoken understanding that stability is temporary. When dawn returns, the defeated lion is gone. He moves along the boundary, avoiding scents that once marked his domain, but now signal exclusion. Each step takes him farther from what he once held into lands without claim, where every encounter is uncertain. There is no pride to defend, no territory to hold. Now a wanderer, the lone lion survives through caution and patience, hunting quietly, avoiding stronger rivals, and reading the land with care. Each day is a challenge, each night endured a step closer to another chance. The savannah never truly closes its doors. Somewhere in the distance, another territory will weaken, another leader will fade, and opportunity will emerge. For the defeated, this is not an end, but the beginning of a new cycle where power loss and hope continue to turn across the endless grasslands. The savannah does not remember victors, only the roles fulfilled in their time. Today, a territory remains secure. Tomorrow, it may be contested again. In this vast world, power is not a destination, it is only a fleeting moment within the continuous rhythm of survival. As the sun sets, the grass glows gold once more, tracks fade into the earth, and distant roars dissolve into silence, closing another chapter without witness. Here there are no absolute endings, only cycles that continue where life is tested again and again across generations. The savannah does not require eternal rulers, it depends on each role being fulfilled at the right moment to sustain the balance of life. When territories shift or individuals step aside, the ecosystem adjusts on its own, from predators to grazing herds, even to the land beneath their feet. But when human impact grows too strong through hunting barriers and habitat loss, the savannah loses its ability to restore itself. Conservation is not only about protecting a single iconic species. It is about preserving this intricate cycle so life can continue to move forward generation after generation across the vast and untamed ocean of grass. Deep within the Ngorongoro crater, often seen as one of Earth's most ancient natural stages, a striking bird moves across the landscape. Its vivid pink tones echoing the glow of a sunset stretched across timeless plains. For the lesser flamingo, a small yet resilient species, this volcanic basin in the highlands of Tanzania serves as a remarkable natural feeding ground. At its center lies Lake Magadi, a shallow saline and highly alkaline lagoon. Though it appears inhospitable at first glance, it supports vast blooms of cyanobacteria, particularly those of the spirulina type. This microscopic life forms the foundation of the flamingo's diet. Rich in carotenoids, it gives their feathers that unmistakable pink hue, as if the color itself were drawn from the equatorial sun. The flamingo's beak is not merely for feeding, it is a finely tuned biological instrument. As the bird lowers its head upside down into the mineral-rich water, its beak filters nutrients with remarkable precision, extracting life from an environment many species could not endure. This is the result of thousands of years of adaptation, an elegant solution to survival in extreme conditions. While lesser flamingos are found across several regions of Africa, nearly 80% of the global population, estimated between 2.2 and 3.2 million individuals, as of 2025, is concentrated in East Africa. Within this network of habitats, Lake Magadi plays a vital role, offering a crucial refuge where flamingos can restore energy when other lakes shrink, shift in chemistry, or lose their food supply under the growing pressures of a changing climate. As the soft pink hues of the lesser flamingos fade across the alkaline waters, a quiet stillness settles over the vast landscape of Ngorongoro. Within this crater, spanning nearly 260 square kilometers, an ancient presence endures. Moving slowly and with quiet strength, the black rhinoceros crosses the terrain as if carrying the weight of a vanishing wilderness. Here, the environment provides what it needs to survive. Postoyan water sources such as the Munj stream and the Goragor swamp remain within reach, sustaining life even in dry seasons. although only around 30 individuals inhabit this relatively enclosed space. The Ngorongoro crater holds one of the highest concentrations of black rhinos in all of Africa. This population is especially significant from a genetic perspective. These are not reintroduced animals, but a native lineage, direct descendants of rhinos that have lived in this region for thousands of years. In a world where biodiversity continues to decline, preserving such original genetic lines is essential for research and long-term conservation. The black rhino is a browser rather than a grazer. Instead of feeding on short grasses, it seeks out shrubs, tender leaves, and woody branches. An adult can consume between 20 and 27 kilograms of vegetation each day. In the wild, their lifespan typically ranges from 30 to 40 years. Though in stable environments like Ngorongoro, they can live even longer. One remarkable example is Fausta, recognized as the oldest known black rhinoceros who reached the age of 57 in this very landscape. Her story stands as a powerful reflection of the conditions that still allow life to endure within Ngorongoro. Yet the Ngorongoro crater is not shaped only by flamingos and black rhinos. It is also a contained world where predators thrive. Among them is the serval, a medium-sized feline whose form seems finely tuned for precision hunting. Its long legs, especially the powerful hind limbs, raise its body to nearly 60 centimeters at the shoulder, while its weight remains light, between 9 and 18 kilograms. Most striking are its large, upright ears, functioning like sensitive receivers capable of detecting the faintest rustle in thick grass or subtle movement beneath damp soil. These traits make the serval one of the most efficient hunters within the cat family. Across the ever-moving grasslands of Ngorongoro, it has refined its hunting technique to remarkable accuracy. Once it locates prey, typically rodents, ground-dwelling birds, or small reptiles, it becomes perfectly still, its body aligned with the slightest underground sound. At the precise moment its target reveals itself, the serval releases a sudden spring-like leap. In fact, it possesses the longest legs relative to body size of any feline. With this advantage, the serval can launch itself up to 2 meters into the air, capturing birds in mid-flight or striking down small snakes within reach. Its hunting success rate approaches 50%, an impressive figure that surpasses many larger predators, including lions and leopards. As daylight fades and the tall grasses release the warmth of the sun, tension rises across the plains. A pride of lions has brought down a zebra, but before they can fully claim their meal, movement stirs at the edges. Shapes emerge, quietly spotted hyenas. Not one, but many. A sharp, echoing call cuts through the air, signaling a challenge. In the Ngorongoro crater, such encounters between these dominant predators are part of the natural rhythm of survival. With an estimated population ranging from 380 to more than 470 individuals. The spotted hyena is the most numerous large carnivore within the crater. Research has identified at least 8 distinct clans, each made up of as many as 80 members occupying territories of roughly 40 square kilometers. Their rivalry with lions goes far beyond scavenging. At these population densities, confrontations can occur almost daily. While lions possess greater individual strength, hyenas rely on numbers and coordinated group tactics to compete effectively. This ongoing tension has shaped a vital ecological balance where no outcome is ever guaranteed and strength alone does not determine success. Hyenas do not operate as solitary hunters. Each clan functions as a highly structured matriarchal society led by a dominant female whose status is passed down through generations. When males reach maturity, they must leave the clan in which they were born. They set out in search of new groups where they can integrate and reproduce a natural strategy that prevents inbreeding within the crater's limited space. This departure is not random. It is guided by subtle cues carried through scent, sound, and inherited social patterns. Even in isolation, there remains the possibility of connection and renewal. Often, young males seek out clans where siblings or familiar individuals have already settled, increasing their chances of acceptance. Communication within these groups is complex and constant, ranging from high-pitched calls and low growls to distinctive vocal signals used to locate one another and coordinate movement. In a contained ecosystem like Ngorongoro, this chorus of voices becomes a living expression of resilience and deep interconnection. Ahead, an open clearing reveals herds of impalas, giraffes, and greater kudus grazing peacefully beneath the warm glow of late afternoon. Among them, the kudus gently nudge one another, their spiral horns meeting in light, playful clashes, unaware of the quiet danger drawing closer. The greater kudu is often regarded as one of Africa's most striking antelopes. Its slender frame, large alert ears, and the bold white stripes running along its back give it a presence that is both graceful and mysterious. It thrives in areas of dense shrubs and open woodland where shade and nearby water offer both cover and comfort. Males are especially distinctive, bearing elegant spiral horns that can reach up to 1.2 meters in length. Their coats, ranging from gray-brown to tawny, are marked by 6 to 10 vertical white stripes that flow down their sides. In the distance, a pride of lions rests beside a shallow pool drinking, while watching through half-closed eyes. Gradually, they begin to rise. With deliberate steps, they close the gap between themselves and the unsuspecting herd. The group spreads out with purpose, two lions moving toward the flanks while a dominant male positions himself for a direct advance. The kudus continue feeding and interacting, unaware of the silent threat moving through the grass. One lion lowers its body and glides forward with near-perfect stillness, inching closer to the edge of the herd. A kudu lifts its head briefly, then returns to grazing. There is no alarm, no sign yet of the predator watching from the shadows. Holding its breath, the lion moves within striking distance. Muscles tighten, coiled with energy. In a sudden burst, it launches forward, claws tearing into the dry earth. Within seconds, the distance disappears. The lion leaps onto the kudu's back, and the outcome is decided in a moment, shaped by instinct and precision. Soon the rest of the pride arrives. Together they feed, sharing the result of the hunt, part of a timeless cycle that continues to define life across the savannah. A new day breaks over the vast African plains. Golden light spreads across the landscape as wildlife begins to stir. Large herds of zebras and wildebeest move steadily across the territory, searching for fresh green grass. In the distance, a group of cheetahs glide silently through the brush, alert to the slightest sign of opportunity. Nearby impalas and other antelope graze peacefully, unaware of the watchful eyes fixed upon them. Sensing a subtle disturbance, a few impalas lift their heads. One by one, the rest follow, gazing toward the hidden shapes of the cheetahs. The predators pause briefly, then continue on. They have chosen a different target today. Slipping through the vegetation, they shift direction, focusing instead on another part of the savannah. Where wildebeest and antelope continue feeding without concern. The cheetahs lower themselves and advance with quiet precision toward a herd of wildebeest. The animals remain scattered across the open ground, still unaware of the approaching danger. Every movement is studied carefully as the hunters wait for the perfect moment to strike. Without warning, one cheetah bursts forward. The stillness shatters as the chase begins, sending the herd into sudden flight. The chosen target is a young calf struggling to keep pace. In a moment of instinctive courage, its mother turns back, lowering her horns and charging toward the predator in defense. The cheetahs react instantly, adjusting their positions with remarkable coordination. They move in from different angles, one from the side, another from behind, closing in with precision. The mother resists, standing her ground, but the relentless pressure begins to take its toll. Gradually, her strength fades, her legs weaken, and she collapses onto the grass. The cheetahs approach. In this way, the balance of the wild is maintained through an ancient, unyielding cycle between hunter and prey, repeated endlessly across the African savanna. Dawn unfolds over Near National Park, washing the sky in soft light as the grasslands slowly awaken. The air remains warm and still, with only distant traces of wildlife breaking the silence. Beneath a stretch of shade, a clan of hyenas lies at rest, their bodies heavy with fatigue. From the edge of the brush, African wild dogs emerge, quiet, alert, and driven by a focused, unwavering intent. They are more than hunters, they are tacticians. Moving like shadows across the golden landscape, they follow a scent that leads them straight to the resting hyenas, the same group that had taken their prey earlier. Now the balance shifts. Without warning, the pack forms a sweeping arc and closes in. In an instant, the calm shatters as low growls and sharp calls ripple through the stillness. Startled awake, the hyenas struggle to react, disoriented and unsteady. The wild dogs surround them, striking quickly and retreating just as fast, a blur of movement and precision. One hyena attempts to break away but is intercepted mid-turn and brought down by two swift attackers. The scene becomes chaotic. Dust rises, bodies collide, and a chorus of sounds fills the air. Another young hyena manages to escape, though not without injury. Moments later, the encounter is over. The wild dogs regroup and vanish into the vegetation as quietly as they arrived. Left behind, one injured hyena lies still. Its breathing slows, each movement growing weaker. It turns its head toward the rising sun as the warmth begins to fade. For a brief moment, the landscape falls silent again. Then, with a final breath, the hyena becomes still. For the wild dogs, it was a calculated response. For the hyenas, a reflection of the same harsh reality they too understand. In the wild, roles are never fixed. What happens today may be reversed tomorrow. There are no lasting victors here, only those who endure in the story shaped by survival. As the dust from recent encounters settles across the African savanna, an enduring truth reveals itself here. Life is always shaped on the edge of survival. Tracks pressed into the earth, distant roars, and the slow return of silence. All speak of struggles that never truly end, only shift and begin again. The lion, long regarded as the dominant force of these plains, rises once more among the golden grass. Its presence brings not only authority but a temporary sense of balance to a landscape in constant motion. Yet in the wild, nothing lasts forever. Even the strongest must defend their place day after day, because the savanna recognizes no permanent rule, only resilient strength and the unfolding of fate. And so a question lingers in the heat of the open land. Can the return of a true ruler restore harmony? Or has nature already begun to reshape its own order? If you want to continue exploring real stories of survival in the wild, consider liking, subscribing, and joining us on Beast Call Nature, where the natural world reveals its most raw, honest, and extraordinary moments. Are you ready to hear the true call of the wild? across the immense plains of South Sudan, where the horizon stretches endlessly and the land carries the weight of ancient history in every crack of dry earth, one of Africa's most powerful natural dramas unfolds. This is a realm where survival is earned through speed, awareness, and resolve, a wild stage where every creature must struggle relentlessly to secure its place in the days ahead. Here, beneath a relentless sun and open skies, predators refine their tactics while prey sharpen their senses, knowing that a single misjudgment can mean the end. The savannas of South Sudan offer no refuge. Hunger, thirst, rivalry, and sudden encounters are not exceptions, but part of daily existence in this unforgiving landscape. Yet within this constant struggle lies an extraordinary natural phenomenon. South Sudan hosts one of the largest wildlife migrations on the African continent. Each year, millions of animals move across these plains, forming living currents that flow in search of grass, water, and the promise of survival. It is a journey that shapes destinies, testing endurance, separating the resilient from the vulnerable, and adding new chapters to nature's never-ending story of life in motion. At the heart of this expedition lie two remarkable landscapes. Little known beyond the scientific world, Boma National Park and Bandingilo National Park. Within these remote regions, more than 1 million wild animals move together along a shared natural corridor, forming an unbroken flow that has continued for generations. Among them stands an extraordinary sight: the vast herds of white-eared kob, numbering over 700,000 individuals, representing one of the largest gatherings of antelope anywhere on Earth. Unlike migrations governed by strict seasonal calendars, the Great Nile migration follows a far more fluid rhythm. Its timing is shaped by rainfall patterns and the rise and fall of the White Nile. When the first rains arrive, the river spills across the lowlands, flooding the southern plains and transforming the landscape into a vast reflective expanse where sky and earth seem to merge. As the waters recede, a fresh layer of tender grass emerges, soft, nutrient-rich, and irresistible, drawing the antelope back once more in search of nourishment. The herds move southeastward toward one of the last remaining frontiers of untouched grassland. This ancient savanna stretches unbroken by human development, a rare wilderness where natural processes still dominate. spanning nearly 40,000 square kilometers. It remains free of fences, paved roads, and the noise of the modern world, a sanctuary where nature continues to set the rules. While the Serengeti migration has become a global symbol of wildlife tourism, captured from every possible angle, the journey of the white-eared kob in South Sudan remains largely unseen. In a region increasingly vulnerable to climate change, the South Sudan grasslands endure as a living ecosystem, sustained by the delicate balance of the White Nile, a vast, life-giving artery that governs growth, movement, and survival for every species that depends upon it. The warm sun of South Sudan drapes itself gently over the tall grasses of the savannah. Every sense of the impala mother is fully engaged. Her body is taut with awareness. Ears pivot like finely tuned receivers, capturing the faintest sound, while flared nostrils read the invisible signals carried on the wind. At her side, a newborn calf takes its first uncertain steps into an unfamiliar world. The young impala's coat still glistens with the trace of birth. For now, its mother's presence is everything: shelter, warmth, and reassurance within an immense and unpredictable landscape. Patiently, the mother remains still, allowing her calf to learn the feel of the earth beneath unsteady legs. Within days, those fragile limbs will grow stronger, preparing the calf for its first burst of speed. But today, danger lies close. Hidden among scattered shrubs, a lioness waits, motionless, her gaze fixed on the smallest movement of the young impala. The predator's body is coiled like a spring. Every muscle is poised, the world narrowing to a single point of focus. At that critical moment, the impala mother makes a deliberate choice. She darts away in the opposite direction, drawing attention to herself and becoming the distraction. The risk is total, a calculated sacrifice made to shield her vulnerable offspring. For the briefest instant, The lioness shifts her focus. That moment is enough. The calf remains unharmed, untouched by the threat. For it, the hunt ends before it truly begins. Life carries on, even as the predator's eyes sweep the horizon once more, searching for another chance. Her own cubs are waiting, and hunger will soon drive her forward again. From the heart of the wetlands, home to more than 1 million migratory animals moving in rhythm with the seasons, an absence can be felt. One of Africa's most agile and highly coordinated predators is missing: the African wild dog. Its disappearance has left a profound gap in the balance of the ecosystem. In the past, these packs once moved freely through mud and reed beds taller than a human, carrying out group hunts with remarkable precision. Their success was the result of a biology refined over millions of years. Measuring between 1 and 1.5 meters in length and weighing just 18 to 36 kilograms. They are smaller than lions and more lightly built than leopards. Yet their muscular structure, especially in the shoulders and hind legs, makes them extraordinary athletes, built for endurance rather than brute strength. Their long limbs, supported by strong joints, are designed not for leaping but for covering vast distances. A flexible spine, efficient lungs, a powerful heart, and a deep chest allow them to sustain speeds of up to 48 kilometers per hour for several minutes at a time. They lack the crushing bite or sharp claws of big cats, but their evenly spaced, razor-like teeth are perfectly suited for tearing flesh quickly. Large ears serve a dual purpose, releasing excess heat and acting as sensitive receivers, picking up signals from pack members even in dense vegetation. Every hunt is a demonstration of cooperation and stamina. African wild dogs target the young, the old, or the weakened within herds of impala, cob, or gazelle. Rather than overpowering prey, they rely on relentless pursuit. Each member plays a role. Leaders steer the chase, others cut off escape routes, and the strongest close in from behind until the prey can no longer continue. This method, known as exhaustion hunting, depends entirely on teamwork and persistence. Under the intense sun, after the initial sprint where the prey runs at full speed, fatigue begins to take hold. Breathing becomes labored, movement slows. That is when the pack moves in, delivering coordinated bites to bring the chase to an end. From the first signs of exhaustion to the final moment, the process may last only a few minutes. One of the most remarkable traits of these canids is their collective decision-making. Hunts do not begin until consensus is reached. Researchers have documented a behavior known as a sneezing vote, in which each sneeze signals readiness. Once enough individuals participate, the pack sets off. This system contributes to their exceptional hunting success rate, estimated between 60 and 90%, far higher than that of any large feline in the region. Even feeding reflects their social structure. Pups and weaker members eat first, while adults later regurgitate food for those left behind. Survival here is sustained not by dominance, but by cooperation and discipline. In landscapes shaped by constant movement, wild dogs function like the pendulum of a clock, helping regulate the rhythm of life. Today, however, their future is uncertain. Global wild populations are estimated at only 6,000 to 6,600 individuals a month, with a very small number of mature adults. In the southern wetlands, recovery may already be out of reach. Recent surveys and migration maps show no signs of hunting packs in the upper marshlands. Perhaps this land has grown too quiet for a species that depends on space, communication, and constant motion. Even so, the legacy of the African wild dog remains a powerful testament to survival under extreme conditions. Their disappearance is not only a biological loss, but a quiet warning. When humanity neglects its responsibility to protect the natural world, the delicate harmony between species is broken like a timeless song cut short before its final note. In the regions where the Nile dissolves into a vast maze of endless swamps, and the air hangs heavy with humidity, an ancient giant emerges, the hippopotamus. Massive, rough-skinned, and seemingly forged from the river itself, it carries a primal strength refined over millions of years. Among the world's surviving semi-aquatic mammals, few inspire the same sense of power. Its evolutionary roots trace back to an ancient lineage shared with whales, creatures that once returned from the oceans to walk on land. One branch remained bound to wetlands, giving rise to the modern hippopotamus. Its body still reflects this distant past, a broad, barrel-shaped torso. Short yet incredibly powerful limbs and skin nearly 4 centimeters thick. Lacking true sweat glands, the hippo secretes a reddish fluid that resembles blood but is actually a natural blend of acids. This remarkable substance serves as both a sunblock and an antibacterial defense, protecting the animal from harsh sunlight and infection. A fully grown male can weigh up to 1,600 kilograms and stretch close to 5 meters in length. Its lower tusks, which may grow beyond half a meter, never stop growing and are used solely in combat. Although hippos are not ruminants and lack a specialized fermentation stomach, they can consume more than 40 kilograms of grass in a single night. During the day, they remain almost motionless beneath the water's surface to escape the heat. When night falls, they rise silently and move inland to graze. Hippos live in small social groups known as pods, usually numbering between 5 and 30 individuals. Each lagoon or calm river bend is dominated by a single male. Rather than defending territory itself, he controls access to females. Conflicts between rival males can be brutal, with tusks transforming from warning displays into lethal weapons capable of tearing flesh and crushing bone. Some encounters end in death. Few people realize that this colossal herbivore is not entirely plant-based. Under extreme conditions, hippos have been observed scavenging and even consuming meat, including the remains of their own species. While rare, this behavior reveals the species' capacity to adapt during periods of severe drought or food scarcity. With the arrival of seasonal rains, the river swells, fish populations surge, vegetation bursts into life, and migratory birds fill the skies. Within this cycle, the hippopotamus acts as a silent engineer of the wetlands. Its grazing and waste transport nutrients between grasslands and freshwater systems, rich in phosphorus and nitrogen. Hippo dung fuels microorganisms and algae that form the foundation of aquatic food webs, supporting fish, wading birds, and countless other species. By carving pathways with its immense body, the hippo also creates access to water for antelope, warthogs, and even human communities during the dry season. Despite its crucial ecological role, the hippopotamus now faces increasing pressure. Agricultural expansion, illegal fishing practices, and above all, poaching for its tusks, often used as substitutes for ivory, have pushed the species into a vulnerable state. According to the most recent IUCN assessment in 2024, the hippopotamus is officially classified as vulnerable, with its largest remaining population surviving quietly beneath the surface of the rivers that still protect them. Under the unforgiving sun, hippopotamuses snort and exhale powerful jets of water that rise like living fountains. Their deep bellows echoing through the river channel like the engines of massive machines. Yet across the current, something far quieter and far deadlier remains concealed beneath the opaque water. Lurking unseen is the Nile crocodile, a predator that has ruled these waters since time beyond memory. This reptile is a living archive of the river itself, a shadow of deep history once carved into ancient stone as Sobek, the god of water, fertility, and protector of the pharaohs. Its lineage stretches back more than 55 million years. descending directly from reptiles that survived the mass extinction which erased the dinosaurs. Today, the Nile crocodile occupies waterways across 26 African nations. Its strongest populations are found in Eastern Africa, from Egypt through South Sudan and into Uganda. In places such as Murchison Falls National Park, where the Nile is forced through a narrow rocky gorge, individuals exceeding 5 meters in length and weighing over 1,000 kilograms have been documented. One of the crocodile's most remarkable adaptations is its mastery of body temperature. When water temperatures rise above 34 degrees Celsius, it retreats into shade or coats itself in wet mud to cool down. When conditions turn cooler, it lies motionless on sunlit banks, absorbing heat like a living stone. Beneath the water's surface, only its eyes and nostrils remain visible small, unblinking points among reeds and roots. Its body becomes almost perfectly still, and its heart rate can slow to fewer than 3 beats per minute. In this state, it can wait for hours, sometimes days, until prey makes a single fatal mistake. The crocodile does not pursue its victims. Instead, it positions itself where animals have no choice but to come close: riverbanks, shrinking rain pools, or swamps that retain moisture during the dry season. When a target moves within 2 meters, the strike is instantaneous. Its jaws unleash one of the most powerful bites in the animal kingdom, delivering between 3,000 and 5,000 tsamamoasa, greater than any other land-based predator. The initial strike usually targets the neck or limbs, immobilizing the victim. What follows is even more devastating: the death roll. In a violent spinning motion, the crocodile twists its body with immense force, tearing flesh, snapping bones, and dismantling prey as large as adult antelope or even buffalo. Once submerged, the method shifts to suffocation. After the first bite, the crocodile drags its prey into deep water or holds it beneath the surface until resistance fades. if the animal is too large to consume immediately. The crocodile secures the carcass in a quiet pool, wedged beneath rocks or vegetation. There, natural decomposition softens the flesh, allowing the predator to return and feed over several days. Yet, despite being one of Africa's most formidable hunters, the Nile crocodile shares an unexpected and almost symbolic relationship with a much smaller creature, the Egyptian plover. This striking bird, recognized by its bold black and white plumage, inhabits the great rivers of eastern Africa and the highlands where the Nile begins its long journey north. On rare occasions, observers have witnessed a scene that feels lifted from ancient legend. A crocodile lies motionless along the riverbank, jaws stretched wide, resembling a fallen log split open by time. With remarkable calm, the plover descends, perches along the edge of the massive jaws, and delicately steps inside the reptile's mouth. There, it pecks at scraps of trapped food, parasites, and decaying tissue lodged between the teeth, a natural form of maintenance carried out in an atmosphere of astonishing trust. While science has yet to confirm that this interaction occurs consistently across all regions where both species coexist, many ecologists believe it reflects a subtle form of cooperation rarely acknowledged in the wild. Even between a supreme predator and a fragile bird, an unspoken understanding may exist, proof that nature's balance is built not only on conflict, but occasionally on quiet alliances. There, suspended between open sky and mirrored water, stands the motionless silhouette of the shoebill, an architect of lethal silence, and a striking example of how instinct and evolution converge into a singular form. Despite its common name, the whale-headed stork is not a true stork at all. Modern genetic research reveals that it is more closely related to pelicans than to traditional storks. Towering at nearly 1.5 meters tall, with a wingspan that can exceed 2.5 meters. The shoebill commands attention, yet its most defining feature is its extraordinary bill, broad and heavy, and unmistakable. Measuring roughly 25 centimeters in length and more than 12 centimeters across, and ending in a sharp, hook-like tip, it functions as a precision weapon, capable of ending a hunt in a single decisive strike. The shoebill is a master of patience. It can remain perfectly still for 4 to 5 hours, conserving energy and blending seamlessly into the wetland landscape. When a longfish, catfish, or other prey rises toward the surface, the bird explodes into action. Its massive bill slams downward with remarkable speed and force, often crushing the spine of its victim instantly, an efficient and deadly conclusion to one of nature's quietest hunts. Rather than relying on speed or coordinated chases like many predators, the Sitatunga survives through patience and precision. It moves with slow, deliberate steps across soft mud, where every blade of grass and gentle ripple of water becomes a silent ally. The flooded wetlands themselves serve as natural camouflage, shielding this elusive antelope and allowing it to exist quietly yet confidently. Its long, wide hooves, reaching up to 18 centimeters in length, are perfectly adapted to spread its weight, preventing it from sinking into waterlogged ground. Adult males stand between 81 and 100 centimeters at the shoulder, with a body length of up to 160 centimeters and a weight ranging from 76 to 90 kilograms. Females are noticeably smaller, measuring around 70 to 80 centimeters in height and weighing between 24 and 45 kilograms. Their coats are a rich, deep brown that darkens with age, marked by pale white stripes that shimmer like reflections dancing across the dark surface of swamp water. The Sitatunga feeds on a remarkably varied diet, consuming more than 40 species of plants. Tender grasses, fresh shoots, and aquatic vegetation such as cattails and sedges form the core of its nutrition, helping maintain balance within wetland ecosystems. Yet despite its specialization, the Sitatunga remains an integral part of the food chain, falling prey to lions, leopards, crocodiles, and African wild dogs. When danger approaches, its response is not a frantic escape. Instead, the Sitatunga slips soundlessly into the water. Only its nostrils and eyes remain above the surface like two small pearls floating in the swamp before it vanishes completely into the wetlands, leaving no trace behind. While the Savannah of South Sudan still bears the invisible signatures of predators below, the sky suddenly fills with a sharp, unmistakable sound. It is neither thunder nor wind, but a clear, ringing cry that cuts through the humid air of the wetlands, the call of the African fish eagle. Powerful, resonant, and unmistakable. This voice has become one of the most iconic sounds of the African wilderness, announcing its presence long before the bird itself is seen. With a wingspan that can stretch up to 2.4 meters, a body length of 63 to 75 centimeters, and a weight ranging from 2 to 4.4 kilograms, the African fish eagle needs no extravagant plumage to command respect. Its mere silhouette is enough to draw attention across the landscape. A bright white head and chest form a striking crown against the deep brown of its wings and body, blending seamlessly with riverbanks and marsh vegetation. Beneath this regal appearance, piercing yellow eyes remain fixed on the water below, scanning for the slightest movement. Perched high on overhanging branches or resting on exposed river islands, the fish eagle waits in absolute stillness. The moment a disturbance ripples across the surface, it launches into a swift, controlled dive. Its range extends across nearly all of Africa wherever open water exists. The fish eagle is rarely far away. Though it does not undertake long migrations, it adjusts its position with the seasons, shifting toward river centers during floods and returning to the shallows as water levels recede and prey becomes more accessible. Its hunting technique is a balance of patience and explosive precision. Armed with powerful curved talons, the eagle can lift fish weighing up to 4.2 kilograms straight from the water. If the catch proves too heavy, it paddles toward shore with strong wing beats, refusing to release its prize. While fish make up the bulk of its diet, it also takes frogs, turtles, small birds, and carrion. Opportunistic by nature, it will not hesitate to steal prey from other birds, including marabou storks or shoebills, when the chance arises. Beyond its ecological role, the African fish eagle holds deep cultural significance, featured on the national coat of arms of South Sudan. It symbolizes freedom, resilience, and the untamed spirit of Africa itself. In its cry echoes the enduring power of wild landscapes unbroken, watchful, and alive. Silently, another bird arrives. The marabou stork appears only after the heavy footsteps of elephants have faded and the echo of the fish eagle's call has dissolved into stillness. It comes not as a hunter, but as a quiet specialist ready to assume a role that is far from glamorous, yet absolutely essential to life on the savannah. Standing up to 1.5 meters tall, With a wingspan approaching 2.6 meters and weighing around 9 kilograms, the marabou often appears alone like a solitary statue rising from dry grasslands or lingering at the edges of flooded marshes. Its bare head and neck, deep-set dark eyes, and the large pendulous pouch hanging from its throat give it an unsettling, almost prehistoric presence. This appearance is no accident. The marabou stork is perfectly adapted for a task few creatures are equipped to perform: processing death. It does not chase prey or launch ambushes. Instead, it watches from above, waiting patiently until a white-eared cob, a tiang, or a reedbuck collapses after the strain of migration. With its long, razor-sharp bill, it tears through flesh efficiently, while its exceptional resistance to bacteria allows it to consume carcasses in advanced stages of decay remains that most scavengers could not endure. In flooded wetlands, marabou storks often move in small groups of 5 to 30 individuals, tracking the great movements of wildlife. They gather in shallow waters where receding floods trap remains left behind by the migration. These sites become feeding hubs, where a single carcass can sustain an entire group for days. Unlike vultures, marabous rarely fight or compete aggressively. They move quietly among the remains, taking what others leave behind. When carrion is scarce, their flexible diet allows them to survive by hunting small fish, frogs, lizards, young snakes, and insects, an adaptability that ensures survival even during lean seasons. During the dry months, when temperatures soar, the marabou relies on a cooling mechanism known as urohydrosis. By releasing liquid waste onto its legs, it cools its body through evaporation, much like water poured onto hot stone. It also limits its activity to dawn and dusk, avoiding the intense heat of midday. In flight, the marabou stork rides rising thermal currents above the wetlands, gliding vast distances without a single wing beat. This energy-efficient travel expands its reach across the landscape. Though its appearance may inspire unease, the marabou fulfills a critical ecological role, reducing the spread of disease by clearing animal remains. In doing so, it serves as the wetland's natural sanitation force, quietly maintaining balance where life and death inevitably meet. As the final rays of sunlight fade across the plains of South Sudan, the savannah appears to settle into rest. But here, the struggle never truly ends. Every species, large or small, has fought through another day against hunger, drought, predators, and fate itself. Each breath taken, each step earned, stands as proof of a natural world locked in a constant contest with itself, brutal, yet undeniably beautiful. South Sudan is more than a wilderness. It is a living testament to the most fundamental instinct on earth, the will to endure. The vast migrations that sweep across these lands, the ingenious strategies used to evade death, and the fierce confrontations that decide who survives and who falls, all form part of an ancient cycle, one that has shaped life in Africa long before human memory began. Yet within this raw grandeur lies a growing responsibility. Climate change, habitat degradation, and expanding human pressure now threaten a balance that is as fragile as it is sacred. In response, conservation efforts across South Sudan and the wider continent strive to protect wildlife, restore ecosystems, and ensure that this timeless dance of life continues for generations to come. Because safeguarding wild animals is about more than protecting species. It is about preserving culture, history, biodiversity, and the very soul of our planet. May this journey serve as a reminder that nature is not merely a spectacle, it is a legacy, and caring for it may be the greatest expression of our humanity. If this journey into the heart of South Sudan's savannah moved you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support allows us to keep exploring and sharing the wildest landscapes and the most powerful stories from the animal kingdom.